By.Cupid, and I am so excited to be in front of the camera for you today. And if you've read the title of this video, then you know that I am no longer going to be doing tarot on this channel. And what that means, before anyone gets alarmed, is that basically I will still be offering private readings. So if you have not been able to purchase one yet, you have been thinking about it, or you're just a client who has been getting readings from me and you're worried that you won't be able to anymore, don't be alarmed. I will still be offering readings, and any information about that is going to be in the description box below, as well as in the header on my channel. It's going to be in the about me. Like, literally, that information is so accessible, you can always find it. But I'm just going to keep it really candid and hopefully brief, and then I'm going to tell you what you can expect. So the first reason I've decided, and this is not like in order of importance, just so you know. I'm not, like, first reason is not more important than the second. It's just the best way for me to transition. So the first reason I've decided to stop doing tarot is, personally, it's just not, how do I put this? Let's just go back. Okay, so I started doing tarot, like many readers, in a somewhat dark time in my life. And it was a time where I didn't trust my intuition. I didn't understand where I was going or where I wanted to go. And through tarot, I was able to gain more confidence in my natural intuitive knowing. And I've learned a lot of other things, you know. Tarot, if you've watched tarot for a while, or you do tarot yourself, or any type of divination, one of the many lessons that we are taught is to live in the moment and be patient and trust our first instincts. And I feel like I've gotten to a point in my healing journey where doing tarot becomes somewhat counterproductive and counterintuitive. I had to come to a realization that my gifts, my intuitive gifts, really, even though divination is a tool, it's not best suited in that specific medium. I am a painter, first and foremost, and my art has always been intuitive. If you go and check out my Instagram, you'll see all of the great things that I do. And I am going to go a little bit more into my art later in the video, so stay tuned. But I had to realize that my intuitive gifts, the gifts that I'm meant to share with the world, and to help people or to inspire people or just touch people in general, is it's more suited and concentrated and strongest in my art, and that's what I need to be focused on. I feel like I have learned, I don't want to say everything, you know, there's always more to learn, but through tarot, I feel like I've learned what I needed to learn. And at this point, I want to kind of desaturate tarot in my life. I know that many people who watch tarot are somewhat addicted to it, and we can be honest about that. I got to a point myself where I started unfollowing or muting certain readers or certain words and accounts because, you know, I would go on my YouTube feed, and every video I was recommended, or every notification I was getting, was a tarot reading. And yes, it's addictive. And it's addictive because we like to know things. We're very curious. It's also addictive because it's entertainment, and we like to be entertained. But I realized that a lot of the things that I loved to be entertained by was no longer showing up on my YouTube because I was so oversaturated with tarot. And to become so oversaturated like that, it's no longer healthy. It's no longer helpful, and it becomes a source of anxiety for me. I'm also very empathic, and so I take on a lot of energies. I absorb a lot of energy. And doing general readings, while I do enjoy them, I think they're very fun, I often become overwhelmed by the energy that I'm receiving, or the messages I'm receiving, or having to do so many groups. You know, it becomes just overwhelming for me. And I started realizing that it was harder to do more readings. I could really only energetically manage maybe one video a week for tarot, because I really have to prepare myself mentally to sit down and, you know, and I'm pretty sure other readers can relate that I don't just sit down and just start doing tarot. I really, it's a process. It's a process for me to first, okay, what is the reading about? You know, what reading am I doing? What questions need to be answered? I, you know, go inward and outward to some degree to determine what is the collective need for me. And then the second part is, what do my groups look like? What are we choosing? How can I visualize, you know, these groups for people? It's a process, and so it just takes a lot out of me, and it does take away from the energy that I have to create art, as well as recording it, because I do want to share more of that here, and I do want to, you know, post videos about, I do want to post more videos about the art that I create, and so that's just for me. I also feel like at this point in my healing journey, I don't want to inquire anymore. I don't want to ask these questions. I want to just know that the answer is going to reveal itself, right? Like I said, one of the many lessons that tarot tries to tell us, and how spirits speak to us through the cards, is telling us to live in the moment and to trust that the knowing is within, and you are the oracle. So you know all the answers. Everything you need to know is within you. The second part of why I'm deciding not to do tarot on this format anymore is because of the oversaturation, and because I know that there are so many of us struggling with the addiction of needing to know and needing to know and needing to know. I was watching a video, and I forgot the video's name and the person talking. If I can remember, I will link the video in the description box so that you can see what I saw. And it was short, but one of the things he was, well, it wasn't just the video. It wasn't just the video, it was the comments. I went down in the comments of this video, and so many people were expressing that they too have lost themselves in this, you know, habit of being entertained by tarot, being entertained by knowing what's going to happen, and knowing what someone's thinking, and knowing what they're going to do next, and knowing what they need to expect, and knowing what, you know, what's going to happen, to the point where you can completely lose track of, you know, what's really going on around you. You know, you can really just lose track of that. You can really just fall into these habits of, you know what I'm saying, not really living, but overthinking about living. And when I look at these comments, I felt like, as a reader, because in the video the speaker was talking about the responsibility of a reader to and the ways they deliver the message, and what messages they deliver, because I'm simply a messenger. a messenger through the cards, a messenger through my artwork. And it's our responsibility to, in a lot of ways, determine what it is that you need to hear and what are the best ways to deliver a message to you. When I saw these comments, I felt like, me personally, I felt like a responsibility to no longer contribute to an obsession, no longer contribute to, the constant inquiring that we all naturally have, right? We all feel lost to some degree, and we all feel like we need to know. But I do consider myself a healer and somebody who wants to help. So I think it is a disservice in a lot of ways to constantly feed into, quite frankly, ego, and that's not to insult anybody, but just recognizing this pattern and recognizing why it is so many people get trapped into this addiction to tarot. I'm also no longer inquiring for myself. I've stopped inquiring for myself for a bit of time, but even the act of picking up the cards is something that I deal with, where if I suddenly feel lost, I pick up my cards and I don't know what I'm trying to ask. I don't know what I'm trying to know, but it is a habit of just picking up these cards and just shuffling and wanting something when really I already know what I need, and I already know what I need to do and how I can help myself. And it's not through constantly asking cards what's going to happen or what I need to know, right? We are the oracle. We are of spirit. We are cosmic beings. So everything we need to know is already within. And I really hope that makes sense. Like I said, I'm still going to offer private readings for people who want to purchase one, but this channel can just no longer be about tarot for those reasons. But what's happening next? I am so happy that you asked. Like I said, my spiritual gifts lie in my art. If you cannot see, this painting behind me is a painting that I've done. I'm not going to go too in depth into that or anything, and I would love to talk about my art in other videos. I'd like to be more in front of the camera for you in the future, so if you're interested in that, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about getting more videos of me just talking to you about my art or about my process, just anything like that. But this channel, yes, so what's happening next is you will see a lot more videos of paintings, me painting, like actively doing that. I think for me personally, that was the best way for me to learn, was just to see other people painting, and also just focusing on creativity in general. One of the things, and this is another thing I've learned through tarot, is that we're all creative. And creativity is how our intuition manifests in so many ways. So even if you aren't a painter or a drawer, you could be a writer, you could be somebody who's very athletic, you could be somebody who likes photography, but those are all passions that derive from that creative aspect of yourself, right? Your creativity, manifests in your actions and the things that you enjoy doing. So I want to just facilitate more of that here on this channel. I don't really know what else to say about the art. Actually, I can tell you what my focus is so you can understand what type of artist I am. Once again, check out my website, check out my Instagram. You can see like literally everything I've done. It's all, very organized. I'm a Virgo, but I consider myself an intuitive painter. I like interior design, architecture, landscapes, and theater. I like that performance art, And so I use elements of all of these elements, right? I use interior design. I might cut that out. But I'm an intuitive painter. I use landscapes, whether they're interior or exterior, as a means of translating a spiritual journey. They are narrative, they are conceptual, and they are meant to resonate with other people. Even though they are derived from my own personal experiences, when people look at them, I am hoping for them to see their own struggles and their own, victories, in these paintings. I also have some other stuff I'm working on. I have characters that I create and I use them as well. I'm very interested in performance art and translating that into my paintings as well. It's kind of hard to verbalize right on the fly, but yeah, that's what I do. I also have visions, and these visions are not necessarily like That's So Raven, where she's like, but more so I see things. I see things in real life, and I paint them, and they feel like visions to me. They feel like they're not accidents, like I meant to see them. So if you'd also be interested in that, I'm actually going to put a couple paintings at the end of this video so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. But otherwise, you're just going to have to go on my Instagram and go to my website. I have a gallery, you can look at that. But, from just what I'm saying, you see that my spiritual and intuitive process is already so embedded in my art that I really just have accepted that that is how I want to, that's how I want to communicate with you, through those things. And I'm so willing to get back in front of the camera. If I do understand that there are people who come here for tarot and they may unsubscribe. If you do that, there's no hard feelings. It's always going to be love and light. I just know that this, for me, is not going to continue. And if you do unsubscribe, that's perfectly fine, because it means that the people who are here from now on are going to be here for the art, and I really appreciate that. In fact, I really appreciate all of the support, all of the wonderful comments, all of the wonderful, just this particular community, which is why I even started my channel. This community has always been so positive and always so receptive to messages and receptive to growth and inner strength, and I really, really appreciate it. And I really do hope that some of you, most of you, will stay and see what it is that I'm going to be cooking up, you know what I'm saying? So that's really all I have to say for now. Like I said, if you're interested in getting more videos, about just the creative process, me talking through some of my work, and just anything, I'm so willing. Like I said, put it down in the comments. Let me know what you think, and thank you really for being here and bearing witness. Okay, so bye everybody.